Stereotypes of Native Americans are slowly disappearing. Almost every week, Standing Rock Sioux Tribe member John Little sees images of Native Americans being represented as stereotypes. There is the picture of a young Native woman on a container of butter. There are the children's teepees sold at popular stores. And there are the sports fans, people who support teams with Native American connected names, often paint their faces and do the tomahawk chop. The movement was meant to look like a Native American using a sharp tool called a tomahawk. Little notes that many Americans have been discussing racist imagery, but such discussions have not included the outdated and often offensive stereotypes of Native Americans. Experts say that redface, the practice of dressing or acting like a Native American, gets less attention than blackface for a few reasons. European Americans have deep-rooted but mistaken ideas about American history. Also, Native Americans make up less than 2% of the United States population, while African Americans, by comparison, make up about 13%. Native Americans have tried for years to make people understand that to stereotype Native Americans as violent, uninformed, and humorless is deeply offensive. They have not seen much change, however. Throughout America's history, people have put on red face, worn feathers, and spoken in broken English as they played Native Americans in theater, film, and everyday life. In one of the earliest examples, colonists who were dressed as Mohawk Indians poured tea into the Boston Harbor in 1773 in protest of British rule. Harvard University professor and writer of Playing Indian, Philip James Deloria, said most people think that those old images, largely based on 19th century Plains Indians, represent who Native Americans were and still are. Some even believe natives no longer exist in the country. The most common place to see red face is at sporting events for teams like the Washington Redskins, the Atlanta Braves, and the Cleveland Indians. There have been protests against the Redskins' name for 50 years, but the team's name has not changed. In 2017, Little made a documentary film about the team and its chosen name. It is called More Than a Word. In it, fans explain that they think the team names honor Native Americans. These fans paint their faces, perform their version of a Native American dance or war cry, and wear fake headdresses. For many Native Americans, red face is not limited to actual face paint. It also includes clothing and speech. The sight of sports fans wearing feathered headdresses is especially insulting to many Native Americans. The headwear is historically a sign of great honor and respect, earned by tribal chiefs. Nicolette Deschine Parkhurst is a Lakota and Navajo. She has been criticizing the companies that use Native American culture in an offensive way. She wants them to show indigenous people in a more modern way. Although changes have been slow in eliminating stereotypes, there have been some positive signs. The Cleveland Indians sports team, for example, has new clothing for players that does not include the image of Chief Wahoo, a Native American face shown in bright red and wearing one feather. And the U.S. Lacrosse Association said last month that it plans to remove offensive Native American mascots and signs from events that it puts together.